Welcome back. We are now doing Hunter in Fractured in Alterac Valley. Card review.
Hello, I am Merps.
Oh yeah,
We're going to be talking about Hunter, a class that eons ago I loved because of its aggressive nature, and ever since buckets have gone away, it has never been able to replicate that.
it's back.
Uh, Due to the entire expansion, no, pretty much just one card. It
It's
is the
back.
best card in Hunter, and you can argue that it is the
Ever,
best card kind of
ever,
ever.
ever
Yeah.
printed in Hearthstone.
You can argue that, yeah, like, and especially for more commonly seen cards. So if you're
Yes, it's
arguing
a
like,
common card.
right. So if you're saying like, oh, that's Lord Godfrey, I'd be like, oh, okay, yeah, I could see that. But that was at least still a legendary. This is this is a common card.
Better than ban
And
cards.
it's so dumb. And
So
I love
dumb.
it. It's I will feel so dirty drafting this, but you can believe I will be doing okay. This won't be like ramming mount where I retired 14 hunter decks in a row and I don't get not bitter about those drafts. Okay, not bitter. All right, let's bring it up. Let's talk about it. This is a S plus tier card, one of the best cards to ever be
This
printed.
is the first S plus tier card we have given the S plus designation to since
Yes.
we started the system, which was in the beginning of the year.
So
So that means no cards in Barons, United in Stormwind, Mines, and no cards that we remember from before that either. Like maybe Legendary. Like no card got an S plus. Yeah, Sarah's an S. We
people are
talked
asking
about.
how many points this would have gotten under the algorithm. I don't know, 400, 500. I have no idea.
Actually, maybe I was like 400. I was like,
Maybe,
actually, I don't know.
maybe 400,
Okay,
maybe
so
400.
I want to
All right.
clarify this, which is, okay, you know what? For the people who are listening on the podcast that actually don't know what the hell we're talking about, we're talking about Bloodseeker, which is a 2 mana 2/2 weapon for Hunter, and it has a text that says "Honorable Kill, gain +1/+1." Every time you honorable kill, you get another charge, and it goes up. We'll unpack that in a bit. But I want to talk about the scale for a second first, which is what S plus actually means and why we've never gone there. So S plus is actually a part of the scale. It's not something we made up for this card. It was always a part of the scale. I think if you go back to our first video that we started this system, we said, "Oh, no card will ever be S plus," because it was just so out there of a concept. And when we first started the scale, I think this was also like, yeah. Anyway, we're here now. But this is actually an S plus card. This is not like a S plus plus card, and we just didn't have another letter after S. So yes, this card is insane. Yes, it is the best card ever printed, probably, or it's tied for some random legendaries that we can't think of right now. But it is S plus. It is not like XS tier, and we're just calling it S plus because we didn't make a new tier. So there's a system here. Anyway, about the card and why it's ridiculous, besides just us telling you it's ridiculous, just everybody else telling you it's ridiculous, and you can probably see that it's ridiculous. This card deals 2 damage, then it deals 3 damage, or maybe 2 damage again. Then it deals 4 damage, or maybe 3 damage. Then it deals 5 damage, or maybe 4 damage. And then it deals, etc., etc., etc. You are a hunter. Using your life is totally fine. And eventually, by the time you get to like 4 or 5, you can start throwing the remaining charges to the face and get a Pyroblast to the face. This is all in one 2 mana card, by the way. That is more than on curve. Even like in the first 2 turns.
Okay. I see people in chat right now, and I have seen other people use the comparison to Gorehow. I'm just gonna say, never compare those two cards. That is offensive to Bloodletter to be compared to Gorehow. Like, this is so much better. I understand what you guys are trying to do, but it's so far apart, actually. Because the ability to play it on turn 2 versus turn 7 is astronomically huge. The value that you get from Gorehow is so it's immediate and descending. Here it is immediate and it's ascending as well. Do you know how different it is? When the game is on turn 2 and you go up in mana, you are ascending in power. So this weapon scales with it. As the game is at that point of Gorehowl, so first of all, it has to get to that point and then you play it. And then it descends as the game keeps on going. And, the mana doesn't necessarily go up, but, the game is getting more and more, or at least it stays at a relative power level. So the dynamics are completely different here. I understand how like you're like, oh, it's like a reverse Gorehowl. If you really think about it, it's just like, God, this puts Gorehowl to shame because it really does. It just puts Gorehowl to shame in terms of if you get it out this early, it shouldn't be that much better than Gorehowl in terms of like Gorehowl goes down after you are using it, and its starting power level is about what you expect at that turn, right? If not like just it really is what you expect. Here it is what you are expecting on this turn, and then it scales up potentially infinitely so. Um, it's so stupid. Like this card is so stupid in terms of value. And I'm gonna say this: Blizzard never creates cards for Arena or with Arena in mind. They create cards, from our understanding, they create cards with constructed in mind, and then they adjust it to fit or not fit Arena based on the banning cards, adjusting it.
Yeah.
So for those of you out there who are like, oh, what are they doing? It's not the way that they do things. And if you disagree with it, that's fine.
This
I'm just
card
going
is
to tell you.
probably not insanely good and constructed.
I'm gonna guess that it isn't. Because also people can just tech in weapon removal. I don't know how, but like, this card is okay. If you guys remember, before Ramming Mount came out, and then we put it as like a hashtag blame Adulta, because I was like, no, this is a S, this is a S, and then at the very least, I was like, all right, fine. I'm just gonna make it known that it's an S. But what is really problematic with the card, regardless of whether you put it as S or A, is it ends games way too early with really limited counterplay from the opponent. This is the same exact thing. Whether it's effectively ending the game on turn 3 with Ramming Mount or this weapon,
I want
hate
to
these
correct the
mechanics.
record and say that I said it was an A plus.
Oh, sorry.
But
And I
yes,
was
it
like,
is
no,
an
this
S.
is yes. Oh,
But it is not an S
A
plus.
plus. Yeah, no, Ramming Mount still has its weaknesses for an S. This is a S plus so easily. Like if there was an S plus card, it is this one. I'm afraid. As much as I love Hunters, I am afraid because Blizzard doesn't really ban class cards. They don't like doing it. Its impact isn't as high. Even if people loved picking Hunter, sometimes they can't pick Hunter. So, like Hunters, they're not going to be. It's not like constructed where potentially you might actually see like 70% of your matchups just being this one class. I don't know if constructed was ever like that. Okay.
I'm gonna read Twitch chat. Smellyhead says they banned Mount.
Yeah, they banned Mount. Now,
and Mount is S. This is S plus.
Here's the issue, though. It took them a while to ban Mount. It took them a while to ban Mount. So, do I think that it is probable that they ban it? I actually do. I actually think that it is probable that they ban it. Because I think it'll be too toxic. So, once again, toxicity level doesn't exactly correlate with the strength of the card. As in, a card could be very strong, but not very toxic, in my opinion. A card could be very, very toxic for Arena, but not that strong. Mind Control Tech being a perfect example.
Even like Fledgling.
Yeah, Fledgling, the average power level of Fledgling wasn't that strong. I think a lot of people, because that was one of the original kind of like controversies or whatever. People looked at our ranking and was like, wait, Fledgling, it's like, oh, you guys got Fledgling all wrong.
No.
I've always thought that it wasn't that good on average, but we do recognize that sometimes it blows out the game, and that's problematic. Like, I was fine with it being removed. I'm like, yeah, I mean, if you're going to remove
like, people
something
keep saying things like Ticket Scalper, like we got that wrong, but like our point of banning that was that we thought that was going to be Fledgling levels of toxic, not that it was like the best neutral card they ever printed or anything like that. and it just
Yeah.
turned out. I mean, we were wrong. It turned out not to be that toxic at all. But it was never like a pure power level thing.
So I do think this will get banned eventually, but I don't love the fact that you're facing a hunter and every single kind of like game early on, you're just thinking like, shit. Well, I got 2 health left on this thing. Or even if it like okay, even if they just use it on the first charge and it doesn't get the honorable kill, they still have another charge to try to get the honorable kill. And then it's just man, it really sucks. Um, I got nothing more to say about it. Like this is not a card that I think belongs in Arena
This is
at
not an
all.
okay card.
This is not okay. This is like so not okay.
And this is where I think it really challenges your assumptions of the meta, which is that you assume that the meta is going to be dominated by Skullman's Academy because that's where all the good cards are, and that's just true. In this upcoming rotation, but if the only good classes are all aggro classes and the drivers of the really good cards, because we look at the best card in Druid and it's an aggro card. We look at the best card in Demon Hunter and it's an aggro card. We look at the best card in Hunter and it's an aggro card. You may end up in a meta where everybody has a lot of the tools to play more control.
Here's the difference. The Druid one, that is after you establish and then you can capitalize on it. This helps you establish. Right. Establishers are much more valuable than stuff that capitalizes because, like, I don't see much establishers.
Well, it still helps you establish. It's still a 2/3 that pings, right? Like, that's real good by itself. It does both sides. But obviously, it does. It more like it's better when you have
more right.
Yeah,
and this can just by itself.
I mean, this is an S plus tier card. You're comparing an A tier card to an S plus tier card.
Well,
right?
But that's why I'm saying, like, I don't think Druid is going to be as strong. For Hunter, I do agree, and it's crazy to say one card can make a class just like aggro. It could happen here. It actually could happen.
Yep. So the meta, for those who are holding out hope for an aggro meta, it's not impossible, and your brightest hope would be this one Hunter card driving the entire meta, which is to say that you'll hate the meta even if you like aggro, because if this card is dominating the meta, and it will unless they preemptively remove it or tune down the offering rates a lot, because it's a common card, you're still not going to have fun. Like, if you're an aggro deck and your opponent has a Bloodseeker, you're not having fun. You're dead. If you're an aggro player and you have a Bloodseeker, I don't know how you're having fun. Your opponent's dead. Like, you exhibited no skill, did nothing, right? Like, you just had a Bloodseeker. So, I don't know. This card is going to get banned. I think I'm with Merps on this one, and that Blizzard will see how terrible it is for the meta, and it will get banned. But if it's not banned on day one, Hunters are probably going to be really powerful. Even though, and you'll see with the rest of their cards are not that great in this expansion, and I'm pretty sure the rest of the cards that are coming back are not that great, right? Like, Skullman's has that one nice dragon, I think, that discovers for Hunter, or no, that's Descent of Dragons. I don't know what does Skullman's have for Hunters.
So that's the thing that Hunter's got like Crushing Walls, they have True Aim Crescent and everything, but like they don't have that many tools.
Right.
Like
it feels like it's gonna be a weak Hunter overall, but with Bloodseeker. So it just depends on how many Bloodseekers you get in your freaking deck.
And Bloodseeker can solo.
Yep.
Bloodseeker can absolutely solo someone.
Just put some Crocs around and Bloodseeker your way to victory.
I would say if you have a mediocre deck and Bloodseeker, it's crazy for me to say this. If you have like a 2-drop, mulligan it away and like just look for Bloodseeker. Yep. Like, it's to the point where it's like, oh, I have like a 2-drop. Maybe I should keep. No. Get the Bloodseeker. Like, just go get the Bloodseeker. Because that's gonna be better than like you keeping a Croc plus or a Raptor plus in your hand. That's not how you're going to really win. Go find that Bloodseeker.
Well, we have to talk about the other Hunter cards, but we'll the next highest one is a B plus, which is a great card. That's where what do we call this? I suck with names right now. Too many names for Hearthstone cards. Knight Captain, especially in this set, they're all like various titles. Knight Captain is a B plus. This next card is a B plus. It is a Mountain Bear. It is a common 7 mana 5/6 taunt. Death Rattle, summon 2/4 cubs with taunt. It is a lot of taunt, which is probably useful because by turn 7, your weapon that we just talked about, Bloodseeker, I wanted to call it Heat Seeker, but I knew that was wrong. Your Bloodseeker would have made you have pretty low health, so it would be really nice to super taunt up. So yeah, it's a lot of stats, a lot of taunts.
Yeah, it's good.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not like it's
like it's really good. It's
really good. It's just a little bit fair.
It's a bag of
just
stats and a
bit
bag of
fair.
taunts.
Yeah,
but
yeah. Like it's very good. So I mean, guys, B plus is like quite good.
Yeah.
I just looked at this and I was just like, oh, like why isn't it broken? I was like, it's like poking. It's like
no, nothing else in Hunter is broken. There's just Bloodseeker. It's skewed the entire way you think about what a Hunter card should be. None of the other Hunter cards are like that. The other Hunter cards are like some of the weaker cards in this set.
Mm-hmm. No, look, this is good. B plus is really good in it. I'm just like, like why aren't you doing even more than this?
Alright, so next we got 2 C plus cards, one legendary, one not. The non-legendary is Stormpike Battle Ram. Stormpike Battle Ram is a 4 mana 4/3 rush. Death Rattle, your next beast costs 2 less. Beasts are everywhere. But 4 mana 4/3 rush is not that great. So if you think about it, would you rather save 2 mana or would you rather get another fishy flyer in your hand? You'd rather get another fishy flyer in your hand, and you're not even saving 2 mana. You're saving 2 mana on your next beast, whenever that is. So it's a C plus. It's still good.
Still fine. You will play beasts. Like you just will. Okay.
Wing Commander Itchman is the next card. It's also a C plus. It's a legendary. 9 mana 5/4. Battle Cry. Summon a beast from your deck and give it rush. If it kills a minion this turn, repeat. It's just a huge bag of RNG. You're gonna have enough beasts in your deck. You're not really gonna run out, but are they gonna all kill stuff? And at some point, if they're like all killing stuff, they're not even gonna rush anymore because you would have killed all this stuff. Or at some point, it's gonna stop, and it's just unclear, right?
Yeah, you're gonna have really big beasts. You're gonna have small stuff. It's okay. It's all right.
Yeah, like think of it as a board clear. Like you should not be summoning this if there's any chance that the beast that you summon is not going to kill something. Like you need high chances of your beast being summoned to kill stuff. Because it's 9 mana, right? You got to get your mana's worth.
Yep. Alright, what's next?
Next up is C, Ram Tamer. This is a C tier, a little better than a Yeti. 3 mana 4/3. Battlecry. If you control a secret, gain +1/+1 at stealth. Later on in the game, if you have a secret, you should probably not have a secret. There's not that many good secrets in Hunter. Get a little bit of a bonus. You'll never be able to trigger it on curve almost because your secret can't. You play your secret on 2, then it has to not trigger for this to work. And it's a Hunter secret. It'll probably trigger, you know. Very few Hunter secrets that don't trigger immediately.
Yep. Okay.
So yeah, now we're getting into bad cards, and there's quite a few of these. The next one is Worse Than a Yeti. Still fine, D+, but worse than a Yeti. And it is Spring the Trap. Spring the Trap says, deal 3 damage to a minion and cast a secret from your deck. Honorable Kill, cast 2. If you could cast secrets from your deck, that's fine. 3 damage, then a secret, it's like okay. But you need a secret in your deck. That's kind of problematic. If you could actually cast 2 secrets, that's actually really good. But you need 2 secrets in your deck, and that's bad. And they can't even be the same secret. So you can't get 2 freezing
traps. And you also
traps.
have to kind of want the secrets to be out.
Yeah,
like,
and they're random.
Sometimes like, I'm not saying you like don't want the secret to be out, but like having 2 secrets out is effectively the same as 1 because like one of them won't do anything. So, yeah.
So yeah, I think it's quite telling of how powerful this card is that it gets a D+ instead of like an F or an F+. Like this is I can imagine it's insanely good in construction. Okay, next up we have Revive Pet. This one's a D, which means it's bad. It's 3 mana. Discover a friendly beast that died this game. Summon it.
Yep.
I mean, you're not going to set up whatever you think you're going to set up.
Or even if you do miraculously set it up, you have spent a lot of time setting that up.
Finally, we have a F plus card. This card is barely better than useless. It is Ice Trap with the whole Secret Suck theme. 2 mana, Frost Spell. Secret, when your opponent casts a spell, return it to their hand instead. It costs 1 more. So it's like a counter spell, except your opponent can play the spell again, which defeats the point of the counter spell. In Arena, the whole point of spells is that it's a scarce resource. It's not just that, like, oh, I'm going to get some tempo out of this. It's like the spells solve problems. Bouncing it back to their hand is no good. Like, they have to really play into this with a big spell for them not to be able to just play it again on the same turn and accomplish the same goal. So it's like a really, really delayed tempo game. It doesn't actually counter the spell.
Yep.
And finally, we have the last Hunter card, which is the objective card or the environment card, whatever you want to call it. It is Dunbalder Bunker. At the end of your turn, draw a secret and set its cost to 1 last 3 turns. I do not understand this card, but I'm guessing secret hunters are going to be insane, and this is a supporting card for it. Even if you had the secrets, this is 2 mana to draw 3 cards very slowly and gain 3 mana.
That's if you have 3 secrets.
That is if you have 3 secrets.
Have 3 secrets.
Yes, you will almost definitely not have 3 secrets, but like, it's not even good even if you have 3 secrets.
Yeah, it's very questionable.
Like, it's fine if you have 3 secrets, but it's like pretty fair for the current power levels. And in Arena, you're not going to have 3 secrets most likely. So it's just bad. This is an F tier card. Avoid it. If you happen to have like 5 secrets in your deck, like, okay, maybe consider taking this, but like, I would still rather have a Yeti.
Yep.
Alright.
Okay.
That's Hunter. I think we've talked about Hunter and what it's going to do in the arena, which is basically that Hunters are going to revolve around this one card. This card is straight up busted. Take it, mulligan for it, play it. The rest of your Hunter package should surround this card, which means that they should be very aggro, even if it's bad, right? We talked a lot about how most aggro cards are really bad, especially in the neutral set, in the coming rotation. That's completely true still. But for Hunter, bad aggressive cards are probably okay if you have a deck with 2 or 3 Bloodseekers and like a Crushing Walls to anchor it in the end or something.
Yep. Okay. Well, that's it for Hunters. I look forward to them hopefully banning Bloodseeker at some point soon. Because if they don't do it, this will be so much worse than Ramming Mount. This is going to be significantly worse than Ramming Mount, and it took them a while to act on that. And I hope it doesn't take them nearly as long, because there's no way people can find this fun. Like, there just can't be. It can't be fun to play against this thing.
All right. Until next time, this is... Oh, I guess we'll give a shout out first. Let's give a shout out to Twitch chat and all you people in Twitch chat who are helping us. I see Shady was here before, Coast is here right now, Taro's here, also all of our regular viewers, some new viewers. I don't know why new viewers would be watching this, but yeah, it's always fun to stream to like a couple hundred people, like watching us just talk. That's always exciting. And thank you guys for hanging out and literally just listening to us talk for hours on end on this upcoming set. If you guys haven't done one of these live because you listen to it on the podcast or whatever, give it a shot. Like, figure out when we're doing the next one of these for the next set and join in. It's quite a party. It's very fun. And as you saw from before, Twitch has sometimes catches our mistakes and we change the scores like live. So yeah, thank you guys to everyone in Twitch chat for being a part of this. Until
All right.
next time,
Thank you,
this is
guys.
Adwicta.
This is Merp. See ya.